didn't pay too much attention to the agenda because, uh, like I said, the last video, the current Commissioner's Court clearly doesn't care what any of the citizens say. They don't, you know, for fact, I do not know why they pay attention to non-residents more. Uh, there's only suspicion on my part, but usually that behavior means there's something going on under the table. I've debated on just going up there, trying to tell some jokes. Uh, you know, what? Because that's 3 minutes of not deliberating. It's it's also they clearly value their time. Like, all right, let's get this over with quick as possible. Before citizen comments, they did. Oh, damn, just had his name. All right, clearly I'm not going to remember in time. Somebody is retiring from the county after 36 years. Which is, hey, that's more time than anybody could ask of someone. Um, what got me is that the microphones for the commissioners and county judge were up louder than they normally are. And once again, thank God for, well, Lord, for our responders. And they continue adding the workload. It, they may mean the prayers, but their actions say otherwise. Because if you care about somebody, you don't want them to work any harder than they have to. But this is, again, me not keeping this video short. So, this is what I said. Number 17, Air Quality Week. It's to vote to see if, what was it, April 3rd, or no, April 30th to May 5th. Somewhere in there. For Air Quality Week. Must be a joke. How about toning down the construction and not adding more housing to the county? The less construction and people, the less vehicles, the less pollution. And then I'm pretty much beat a dead horse with the rest. But, I feel it needs to be said. Racket. A planned or excuse me, racket, a planned or organized criminal act. I say forfeiting our rights and giving outsiders a say in our affairs falls under that definition. Clearly planned. This court made an acceptance letter a week before citizens spoke on the matter of THF. Members of this court, including others working for the county, have told me, it's planned, we have to do it. It's admitting to racketeering. Criminal, you may ask, abusing our taxes, putting us on the path towards a dictatorship, twice since last October in an attempt to bypass a court-ordered injunction, attempting to use a veteran's service against him. I know you know what was done is wrong because statements in favor of 392 lack confidence, otherwise would have been there had it been truthful. Sadly, well, for the reason it's sad. Uh, Judge Gaddis was called away due to a family emergency. So he wasn't able to be there to say anything one way or the other. Um, so it was only the commissioners. And if you go to Williamson County, uh, is it Williamson? Yeah, Williamson County TX dot Swagit. Provided you know internet is still a somewhat free space, and if it isn't, well then I guess you're not watching this. You can go to the date, which matches the date for the video, not posted but in the title. Alright, attempting to use a veteran service against him. I know you know what was done is wrong because statements in favor of 392 lacked confidence. Otherwise would have been there had it been truthful. Politicians and truth seem to be like water and oil these days. My definition of evil isn't those who do things I think are morally or ethically wrong. Evil is those who know they're doing wrong and still continue. This current court recognizes non-residents more than those they're supposed to represent. No matter how it's cut, what you did last week negates any good you may have done in the past. THF is already doing their BS they know is wrong. I don't know what else to call it but BS. It's not business. You know, it, it's BS. And I think deep down, commissioners and judge agree with that somewhere. Because in the little paper you used to sign up, it's like, oh, don't use foul language. Well, among other things, but specifically for this foul language. And offered you authority in an area you already did. That makes zero sense. Similar to strangers infiltrating my home and then saying I can put what I want in the fridge, long as the others in their organization agree that I can put it there. That makes zero sense, and yet you gave permission to non-residents to give us permission, long as the rest of THF agree. I was part of a platoon, about 20 guys. In general, we had the ability to dictate our own actions. If we let an enemy squad in and have a say in what we did, that is treason. We already could do what we wanted. If we did what this court did last week, alright, going dark here. Going dark again. If we did what this court did last week, we would have gone from autonomous to only being able to do what the rest of the opposition voted we could do. If we did that, a trial would be a formality, and we would be on our way to the firing squad, yet somehow it's okay for this court. Uh, I believe that's where I got stopped, used up my 3 minutes, but here's the rest of it, which I'll pick up next week. 51% of Wilco could have came here last week and spoke against 392. Would not have made a difference because you made an acceptance letter beforehand. That wouldn't have been done unless the court made a decision prior to citizen comments on 392. Was 392 accepted because it was planned? Because, hey, it was planned, we have to do it. Let's play that game. If someone has worked on a plan for 30 years to invade your home, would you be upset if they didn't follow through with 3 decades of planning? Would it be okay if the plan was carried out and they said it was planned, had to do it? Let's try to mend this 392 Texas Housing Foundation snafu. Clearly, THF said something out of range of citizens. That's the source of their power. Take it away by telling us exactly what was discussed. I have a hard time believing you willingly added to our first responders' workload. I've taken a hard look around and talked to other Wilco residents. Whatever this court has or hasn't done, residents don't feel safe. People who feel safe don't insinuate they have a firearm and are willing to use it if they did. Alright, one last time going dark. Treason. A violation of allegiance towards one's country or sovereign especially the betrayal of one's country by waging war against it by consciously and purposely acting to aid its enemies. A betrayal of trust or confidence. Oh, camera's up here. Yeah, so I say what they do falls under the definition of treason. You know, that is a definition. I'm not mincing words. I'm not twisting it. I'm not using my interpretation. It's verbatim. And funny enough, right after I spoke, I can't remember, Reverend Preacher came with those kids from Travis County who talked about the Hutto Women's Prison atrocities and ordered a people's court subpoena. I don't know who made it, who authorized it, but I think they said May 5th, something like that, somewhere in there. They're going to have a hearing at the Hutto Women's Prison. And these kids did more than what they should have. You know, they went to talk to Judge Gaddis, and then, uh, I mean, they let him have his say. They didn't twist words, they didn't mince words. And then uh, that following Tuesday, and they did it Monday, came Tuesday and spoke out against how uh, the statements he gave were untruthful. Um, Mostly by, oh, I didn't know, I don't see it that way, but clearly, oh, camera troubles. Clearly had to. And then nothing was changed. No amount of effort towards being changed. They waited, I would say, a couple weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, near a month, and then ordered the entire Williamson County Commissioner's Court a subpoena. Every current member. I mean, hello. I told them. I told them the week after those kids spoke that that should be a wake up call. And it was just handled like I was talking about the weather. And now they're in this mess. Um, and then, Bill Kobelaw, who's running for county judge. So much for making this short, huh? Running for county judge. Told him you can't serve two masters. You know, you're serving one or the other, and clearly you're serving the other, not the ones you're supposed to. I mean, I guess that's it. I mean, red coming out, blue coming in. Alright, thanks for watching.